Hello lovely people! Now today's video is going to be a lot different than what I would usually do. We're still doing a flight, we're still doing a landing in this one, but it's a one where I kind of explain my way through my processes, especially due to the difficulty of this approach. We're doing the NDB Tango runway 11 into Darwin, Australia. But that's not it, there's more to the mouthful. It is a circle to land approach to the opposite runway, I should know this, runway 29er. Yes. So, how do we do this approach? So we are currently on descent to flight level 140, as you can see on the altitude tape. We're about to turn on seatbelt signs, pressing flight level 200. Okay, good. Where was I? Okay, so when doing an NDB approach, it is a non-precision approach, so you need to keep that in mind. The minimum decision altitude is relatively high. If you were doing just an NDB approach, it is actually there's no displacement for this one. But most times they're actually displaced by a little bit. But yeah, this time we got lucky. It's the final course is the same as the course to the NDB station. So NDB stands for non-directional beacon. So yeah, now you know that. Probably knew that anyways. But instead of tuning a localizer frequency, there is no localizer and there's no glide slope. What you shall do is use your ADF, which is auto directional finder, in megahertz. So it's 308.0. So you have two of those on the 777 spectrum, the 737. And they help you, they're just nav aids for you. And as we just got the latest weather report, FMC saying we need drag, so we shall give drag. Yeah, anyhow. Yeah, we're a bit quick. It's okay. If we need, we can hold, you know how it is. We'll just cancel the message. If we go back to our FMC, we have a VUF, we're going to do flaps 40 because it's preferred you go in a lower V-speed for these types of approaches. So you have more time to really assess your turns, and your bank angle is greater if you are slower. Physics. Yeah, so I'll just bring down our altitude selector to, what does it say? So around 3000 is the next fix, or the next altitude constraint fix of NASUX 3000 above, and we need to be below 210s in terms of speed. Here we're back on the VNAV path, we can reduce our track surfaces. So yeah, since we're doing a circle to land, actually I might explain with the charts, but at the same time. Hide this please. So here on the bottom right we can see our circle to land, and it's pretty fortunate that all categories of Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta can accommodate this airport. Most airports that I really know to, they only accept Alpha Bravo, and then Charlie Delta are not allowed. Like Mali as well as one of them that doesn't accept Charlie and Bravo. It's a bit strange. We have an actual aero QNH that is assuming that we have the up-to-date QNH with the airport. So let's see what our plane is doing. Okay, so let me explain this. So, circle. Oh yeah, give me a minute. Okay, so circle to land works as I briefed the NDB approach, so non-precision, all that. For circle to land, right, it's either a left or right, but preferably in airports you would use a right turn of 45 degrees. So as I said previously, the final course for runway 11 is 106. So then we'll be doing a right turn to 156. Drive in my fixed pitch. Do not 156. Bravo Golf Tango is the runway threshold for runway 11. So when you're also doing a circle to land, you need to keep in mind what the threshold is for your opposite runway you're landing on, the actual runway you're landing on for a circle to land. So in my case it will be runway 29. You do not need anything programmed on runway 29. However, some pilots do like to use route 2 as to aid you with that. So let's do that, yeah. Is this not okay? Yankee Papa Delta November. Oh, sorry, not Victor Papa. Yankee Papa. Oh yeah, look at that. When we were distracted, we just blew past our transition level, so let's bring us back on course, yeah? Yankee Papa Delta November. Cool, now we can go to arrivals. Arrivals for Yankee Papa Delta. Let's just say Darwin. Runway 29 ILS Zulu. So it is preferred if you would alamak. Sorry. Yeah. I know, sorry. Yeah, we I accidentally did something wrong there. I activated route 2, which should have not been activated. Sorry. Altitude, do we know what to use? Where's the VNAV? Okay, so we've blown right past 10,000. So let's put on our landing lights and our wing lights. Okay, this makes this a lot harder because then we degraded a lot more. Not sure why the VNAV is not engaging. It doesn't say unable VNAV, so assuming that's something wrong. Let me just unable cruise altitude. It's not cruising altitude, sir. Cruise out 370. Not Singapore. Okay, so I guess we'll just use this manually, I guess. Ah, there we go. It's not a waypoint now. Okay, what we do is we'll be doing a left orbit. It's a bit handy for you guys next time. Yeah. Instead of just making a left heading 180 and doing the rest manually, this is another option. You can just use in the FMC, make a custom fix. As for example, I did SADAR 01. SADAR, I just used the opposite heading, so I subtracted 180. That gives you 43. 43 minus 360 gives you what's that? Sorry. Why is it popping this out? yeah, so that gives you 318 quickly. So that's what I did. So set a 318 and then 1 nautical mile behind it. So yeah, ideally this math should have just been doing in the head, but I just wanted to double check. Oh, it's good. And to make it even better, we have a sunset. Yeah. So here's another example of what I mean when if you're faster, our rate of turn will be lesser. And if you're slower, this would be a much easier turn to do. So this goes in the same logic when we're doing a circle to land. So as I was saying, the reason why I did flaps 40 instead of flaps 30 was when you're doing a circle to land, you really have like around 1 or 0.8 nautical miles to around 1 nautical mile or maybe 1.5 nautical miles in terms of distance you can use to make your turn. And usually for category C aircraft like the 737, it is possible, and this is why it works for us. But it's always a tight, and you're gonna be following very tight margins is what I'm trying to say. Good that you're keeping along. Okay, let's go back to the charts. So as I said, if you're just doing an NDB DME approach, NDB approach basically, you would use a minimum of 520 because yeah, simple like that. And here's where you can see the 308 megahertz frequency on the ADF you need to tune. So in approach terms, it's going to be tracking 106 if you were doing an NDB, if you'll be doing this approach. But if you're doing a circle to land, we need to go to the other chart for the other runway. It's okay, you can use any, but then you would use this approach. So check 286 times 6, correction 3000. Good. So let's go back here. Yeah, so this is just a backup basically. If something goes wrong, ATC says we're okay, sorry, you cannot accept your request, but we'll be just doing the ILS runway 29er. I of course have the localizer frequency all set on the standby on our nav 8. So 1097. Good. And the passengers have no idea what's actually going on. So there we go. We can see at NASA going to be at 3000, and we are just being able to see a decel there. So until now, it's been a standard approach. You know, you guys know how to do this, and I'm pretty sure. Something we haven't talked about is the clock on the right. It is important so you can gauge how far you are abeam the initial runway threshold. So what I mean by that, I mean that on a circle to land, you turn right 45 degrees from your initial final course. For me, 156. But you'll be doing this extended right turn, I guess you could say, is for only 30 seconds. Now that's one important, 30 seconds. So how do you gauge 30 seconds? You can just count on your head, or you can go here, run there. So it actually took me a while to understand how this clock works. Like, I know how to do everything here, but when it comes to a clock, I find it very difficult. So when we press start, we'll be doing that, and we wait till 30 seconds, and then we turn downwind of our initial runway, so 106 on the heading. But in doing this time, we need to set up, the aircraft should have already been set on final. So 40 gear down, and your altitude should be a minimum, so 800. And this is where it comes more technical actually for what pilots actually have to be. So if you're flying within a USA, you would use the system called Tango Echo Romeo Papa Sierra TERPS. And if you're flying in the ICAO regions, or ICAO regions, you would see something called PANS Ops. So let's see. Oh, what do we see there? PANS Ops. So that means we're flying into an ICAO region. Darwin. And what's important is because in IKUMA regions, if you're category C, your max airspeed is 180, maximum obstruction clearance, so your basically the lowest minimums you can go is 394 feet. Bank angle would be 20 degrees, same for all aircraft types. For the Americans it's a bit different, but yeah. Minimum visibility is what's important, is 3.7 kilometers or 3.2 statute miles. So, okay, since we're 1000 to go, we can now put our altitude sector 800. That's the minimum we will go on the final approach, so hopefully we will be doing 800 right in front of Bravo Golf Tango VOR. Sorry, NDB. So, there you have it. And if you want, I can brief the American regions if you want, but yeah. You can just do a search ICAL PANS OPS, so Papa Alpha November Sierra dash OPS, OPS, and then difference from TERPS, so TERPS. You'll find something online. Okay, we can go flaps 1. Slats, deploying, and Kruger flaps. FLAPS. SLATS over there. Let's have a look at the sunset. Wow. And this is on Vatsim as well, so yeah. I'm a Vatsim person. Okay, now we're on the final. We should be turning to heading 106. So we would state to traffic, Darwin traffic, Singapore 5. Correction, what's up, Callsign? I didn't transmit that obviously, but Singapore 251. So flaps 5. Here we go. Correction, flaps 10. Because I really want to establish ourselves a bit earlier. So that's 8 miles we're out right now. We'll make sure that there's no one in the vicinity of the airport. That's no one, it's us. And there we go. So gear down. Flaps 15 selected.
2500.
Checked. So we have to select 20, so that's going to be 25 and this is 20. So 106. Flaps 25, speed check, flaps 25. Now let's brief the heading that we need to do on the final, so this is going to be going down very quickly, so I won't be talking. So 1-8. 156 for the right turn, and then 286 on our final, so we put down the courses as well. Our traffic Singapore 251, we're going to be doing a NDB runway 11 right, circle to land, runway 29er, downwind traffic. So we basically said 2 approaches, but they work hand in hand. Flaps 30, speed check flaps 30. And yes, we have enough time to work out the flaps. If we can get the right angle, there it is. So VRF speed 14, correction 139, for flaps 40. So flaps 40, speed check flaps 40. And it's okay, we're seeing 4 whites.
Feet stabilized, Mr. Birch altitude set.
So 156, we have that preset. Once we reach 800, we'll be doing a right turn.
Approaching minimums.
So 800, right turn 156.
Minimum.
and start the clock. Two, 8, 6. And now we do a left turn, 106. And now, how far do we go? And for the hands ops, we are only allowed to go 4.2 nautical miles from the runway threshold. So, that's the runway 11. That's runway 29. So once we pass that, we count 4 nautical miles. Okay, now we can get some nice views. Wow! Bet you haven't seen this on YouTube, have you? Probably a circle to land, but this, I don't think so. So it is okay if we hear the bank angle call out, but yeah, we might overshoot this because it is quite a short distance, I might say. It's not even it's like about 1 mile, and 1 mile to do a full 180-degree turn. As you know, this is not a run-in-the-mill Piper or Diamond. This is a full-size 737. So we do a put checklist and just start to just continuous. Oh, sorry, that's not my checklist. Yeah, and that's okay. And we're good. Cabin crew landing stations, please and thank you. We can cancel this as well, we don't need this. Now we can start our left turn to 286. And in the meantime, we can go autopilot disengage, F control. And if I had a full-size cockpit, I would be looking outside to see how we are in the altitude-wise. But we should be relatively low if we manage to see. Put our taxi light on because we assume that we are clear to land. Of course, yes, we are allowed to use our ND to gauge ourselves. And as expected, we are 4 reds, but if you just keep this altitude, it is okay. Of course, you do not need to go the full 4.2 miles, but I did so because I was a bit unsure if I would overshoot or not. Okay, I'll go auto throttle disconnect. And now we're final runway 29. Isn't that cool? Now there's a visual here from here on out, so what if I had like 8 hands, I would already turn off the flight directors and set our missed approach altitude.
500.
Okay, 2 reds, 2 whites.
400.
3 whites.
300.
It's okay for white to continue.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Okay, reverser is green. Speed brakes deployed, decel. Okay, we're now in Darwin. We ended up on the approach end for runway 11 and now we are landed on runway 29. How do we do it? We watch the video. Okay. That was fun, wasn't it? A bit of a different style of the videos that I make now. This is not going to be for every single video. I won't be talking so much. Okay, so where do we go? Do we make a left turn or right turn? It is a right. Okay, speed brakes down, flaps up. Welcome to Australia, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we're gonna make a right onto Bravo 2. Darwin traffic, Singapore 251 vacated, runway 29er, right onto Bravo 2, taxiing to the terminal. Darwin. Okay, cool. We turn on the. We'll leave on our turn off lights because it's slightly dark. That's how I like it. Yep. And that's how you do it. A NDB approach plus a circle to land onto Darwin's runway 11 and runway 29. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and hope you learned something as per usual. Once you approach the gate, I will guys hand you off to Unicom and I hope you enjoy the rest of your wonderful weekends. It is currently Saturday for me. Whatever time it is, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Yes, sir. We're going gate number 5. Oh shoot, we have a lot of things we forgot to do. Clean up the aircraft. Yeah, we go to a remote bay anyways. Gate 6 is okay. And strobes. See, I'm no expert in this plane. Nowhere close. Eek. We overshot that. Sorry guys. I put all my eggs in one basket with the approach, so everything else we do wrongly. Yeah? This is not a video how to park your plane, but it's how to land it. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and monitor Unicom guys, and goodbye. Ciao.